DC had hosted many parades, but none quite like this. 150,000 Klansmen to parade here, announced the Washington Times on Wednesday, June 17, 1925. It was to be the greatest Ku Klux Klan demonstration ever attempted, and it was scheduled for August 8, less than 2 months away. The KKK had been founded a vigilante organization, terrorizing African Americans and their allies in the Reconstruction South, often under cover of darkness. But this rally was to take place in broad daylight on Pennsylvania Avenue, with an official permit approved by the DC police. The Klan of the 1920s was, for all intents and purposes, a legitimate organization. It had official chapters across the United States, an office in DC. It published newspapers and put out records. Its new platform was 100% Americanism, fusing white supremacy, nativism, and evangelical Christianity into a potent political message that attracted millions of members. Speaking before a House committee in 1921, then Klan leader William Simmons claimed, "The charge that we are organized to preach and teach religious intolerance, and especially that we're anti-Roman Catholic and anti-Negro, is absolutely untrue." He even denied that the Klan had ever taken the law into its own hands. But across the country, Klan marches descended into violence. DC feared it would be next. The NAACP and other organizations filed letters of protest against the granting of the permit by DC police. A meeting was planned for July 8th, led by a white Protestant named Thomas Avant. Avant was giving dire warnings about the parade to anyone who would listen. "Gunmen have been imported to inaugurate a reign of terror," he claimed. "If the Klan parades on August 8th, there will be bloodshed." The Klan had already come for him. He had barely survived an assassination attempt near his T Street home, he claimed. How did Avant have such inside information on the plans for the rally? He had helped plan it. Thomas Avant was a high-ranking Klansman who had left during a leadership struggle. Now, he said he had seen the light and was attempting to build a multiracial coalition to stop it. On July 22nd, with the parade just 2 weeks away, Avant was the main speaker at a mass meeting at the True Reformer building on U Street, a last-ditch effort to stop the parade. But before he could begin, dozens of police who were waiting in the audience arrested him. The Washington Tribune captured the scene. Negroes, incensed at coming demonstration by hooded order, are now aroused by active police. All protests against parade ignored. In the days leading up to the rally, Klansmen poured into DC. Some stayed in tents. Others hung a sign in the lobby of the Willard Hotel, declaring it General Headquarters, Invisible Empire, Knights and Women of the Ku Klux Klan. Then came August 8th. The police were on alert, and Marines guarded the Treasury. At 3 p.m., the procession began down Pennsylvania Avenue. Over 100,000 lined the streets to watch. Some marched, some strolled, some formed the shape of a cross. Men and women, too. Tens of thousands of them. Unmasked. All appeared deeply conscious of a great responsibility, wrote the Evening Star, to show to the world that the Ku Klux Klan is not ashamed of itself. The next day, the Klan erected an 80-foot wooden cross across the Potomac at the Arlington Horse Showgrounds, very close to where the Pentagon currently stands. As evening came, they began an initiation ceremony, where they denounced Catholics and Jews and set the cross alight in front of some 75,000 spectators. It could be seen for miles around. The violence feared by Avant and others never materialized, and many in the white press appeared charmed by the spectacle. "Downtown crowded by good-natured humanity," wrote the Washington Times. "Dignity wins wide acclaim," read the Evening Star. But an editorial in one black newspaper was clear-eyed about the event. "The rally was a striking and vivid indication," wrote the Washington Tribune, "that a movement is on foot to unite all the most vicious possibilities of bigotry, class hatred, and race prejudice." Now that movement no longer hid its face. It marched down Pennsylvania Avenue, clothed in white, and carrying an American flag. Discover more forgotten chapters of DC history at our Boundary Stones playlist, and subscribe to WETA PBS